friends of Harmony in Dementia. My name is Tara Jenkins, and I am the founder and a board-certified music therapist. Today, I wanted to share another example of ageism and how I come across that in my work as a music therapist working with individuals living with dementia. This Saturday, October 7th, is Ageism Awareness Day. And it is the whole point of Ageism Awareness Day is to make people aware, to advocate for this topic, and to talk about how we can change our culture when it comes to how we talk about ageism, what kind of language we use, our approach, and everything in between. So I wanted to share another example from my work. And I will say that this next statement that I hear a good amount of the time is one that really makes me uncomfortable. It really just makes my stomach turn. So I wanted to just give you that warning. But the phrase that I hear a lot in my work is working with older adults is just like working with children. Oh, yeah. I don't know if you're feeling it or having that cringe moment, but I absolutely feel uncomfortable when that is said. And there's a variety of reasons for that. But these individuals have led rich and meaningful lives, and their disease is what is stopping them from being independent, being able to care for themselves, from being able to communicate the way you and I are used to communicating. And we shouldn't talk down to them. You know, we should still be providing them and celebrating them with the respect and the dignity that we would want in return if someone was talking to us. So I feel very strongly on this topic, and I wanted to share a few ways of how I make sure I am celebrating their life, celebrating who they are as individuals, as well as making sure I am providing them and acting in a way that is respectful and protecting and maintaining their dignity. And so a few ways that I do that in my work is the first way is addressing them by their preferred name. So they may want to be called Mrs. Smith, they may want to be called Dr. Jones, or they may want to be called Kathy or Candy if that was a nickname that they loved. You know, but don't come up with your own nickname or honey or sweetie or baby, that kind of a thing. Really find out, you know, what is the nickname that they go by, or what is the name that they want to hear and how they best respond to that name. So that's number one. That's a big one. The second thing for me is providing choices. That is huge for folks living with dementia. So much of their independence and what makes them is taken away through different decisions or things that are unsafe, or you know, the way that they're cared for or helped with their care. And so anytime I can provide a choice, you know, giving them choices of what song they would like to sing, giving them instrument choices, the choice to be present in my session. If they don't want to be there, I don't want to force them there. You know, that is a choice. No is a choice. You know, so I think it's important to remind ourselves of that. And we can always redirect and go back to it. We can revisit it. You know, 20 minutes may go by and maybe ask Dr. Jones again if he would like to come to music therapy, and he might say yes and catch the end of the session. So you never know. So important to give choices. And then the third example that I will share is specifically as a music therapist, and I think as we use different materials and supplies, is I make sure that my instruments are high quality and that they're not childlike. You know, there are lots of inexpensive instruments out there that are made of plastic that don't sound as good, or they're instruments you might not see in the world of music. So, you know, I try to use instruments that folks will use in auxiliary percussion. I try to use instruments, you know, if you see people drumming, the types of drums that they might use and things like that. And that I think goes a long way for folks. And also talking through, you know, some people, they want to know, why are we using these instruments? Why is this beneficial? So I might share a few reasons on how this is good for our health, how this is good for, you know, what we're doing and the kind of movement and sound and rhythm and all of that. So I just wanted to share a few examples of how I try to protect and maintain an individual's dignity, to give them the respect that I would want, and to make sure that I'm not talking down to them in my work. with them. So I hope you found this helpful. If you have comments, thoughts, different phrases or things that you've come across in your work that make you uncomfortable, I would love to hear all of that. You can put that in the comments or you can send me a message. I want to thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you soon.